So what I want to go ahead and do is get this party started. So we're here to hear and listen to our speakers. So I want to introduce our first speaker today. And he came up to me earlier today and he gave me his title. So excuse me one moment, because it's one of the longest titles I've ever seen in my life. It actually stressed me out. I was filled with anxiety. But he said, this guy said, for his title, I spent all week trying to fit the story of my life in a 5-minute speech. And now, you want a short title. Well, this is the best I got. Everybody, clap for Robert Summers, please. Also just say, this is his icebreaker, but this man right here is a bad man. We had an area contest last week, and he won. So he's going to advance to the division contest, which is April 20th. Give it for this man.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. The icebreaker. Talk about a familiar topic, yourself, 5 minutes. I'm 32 years old. I've spent 30 of those years talking about myself. This is going to be a challenge. So I thought, okay, what can I talk about for my icebreaker? So I think I'm going to break down a few stories from my childhood and 3 lessons I learned. How many lessons? You're listening. Well, you can't count, but you're listening, so that's good. So I was thinking all week long, how do I start my speech? Because you gotta start the speech well. You gotta grab the audience, and it's gotta be a really good introduction. And then because I'm kind of screwed up in the head, I thought, what's the worst way I can start a speech? May 14th, 1982, 9:26 a.m., I was born. In a small clinic in Paris, France. And I know what you're probably thinking, but I am an American citizen, born abroad, so I can be president of the United States. Let's just get that out of the way. We lived in Paris for 4 years. My family worked for IBM, and I was born after 2 years. Some of you are going to figure that out later, how that worked. But I don't remember Paris because I was 2 when we left. I do remember moving to Japan at the age of 5. And let me tell you about 5-year-old me. 5-year-old me was cute. I was really cute. I was about this tall, blonde hair, blue eyes. I was precocious. I was outgoing. And I was crazy. I am so screwed when I have kids. Because they are going to be just like me and I'm not going to be able to handle them. So let me tell you the first lesson I learned at the age of 5. When you're cute, you can get away with anything. Absolutely anything. I didn't say they were going to be good lessons. I just said they were going to be lessons. When you're cute and living in Japan, you own that country. That was pretty awesome to figure out. Now, we moved to Japan when I was 5. And for the first year, I was really just having a ball. I really enjoyed being in Japan. It was a new experience, a new environment. There was always something to do. It was a lot of fun. But after the second year of living there, I started to get homesick. I started missing America. I started missing my friends. I started missing cheeseburgers. I started missing understanding what the hell everybody was saying. So it was all in Japanese, and I didn't speak Japanese. I was 6 or 7. And then we moved back to America, and for the first year, I was really enjoying it. And then somewhere around year 8, so about year 32, I kind of missed Japan again. So that's the second lesson I learned as a kid, was sometimes you really have to enjoy where you are. Because when I was a kid, all I wanted to do was grow up, and now that I'm a grown up, all I want to do is go back to being what I was when I was a kid. So you gotta really enjoy the place that you're in, because you never know when you're gonna get an opportunity to be there again. Now fast forward a couple years, the last lesson, the last story I want to tell you about. I was probably around 10 years old. And my dad taught me how to operate a lawnmower. Now I thought this was And that was awesome when you're 10 years old. And Dad thought it was awesome because he didn't have to mow the grass anymore. I was like the modern version of Tom Sawyer whitewashing the fence. I thought I was getting the better end of this deal. Well, one day, Dad comes home, and he opens up the garage door. And there's lawnmower pieces all over the garage. The mowing deck, belts, cotter pins, bolts, brackets. Because my best friend lived down the street from me, down a really long hill. And you could ride your bike to his house, but then you had to walk your bike up the hill because it was too steep to pedal. Well, I figured out I could ride the lawnmower down to my friend's house, and then I didn't have to walk back. I could just ride it back. And then I figured out if I took all this stuff off the lawnmower, it went faster. So Dad comes home one day, and all his lawnmower pieces are in his parking spot, and he was pissed. He was super pissed. He was pissed for two reasons. One, I took apart his lawnmower, and two, he didn't know how to put it back together. I can change an alternator in about 45 minutes. If he changed the alternator, it would take him about $4,500 to fix all the things he broke when he tried. So I come home with my dad. I see the car in the driveway, and I know I'm screwed. I'm very screwed. And my dad, with complete lack of equanimity, pulls me over. He says, "Boy, you are so grounded unless you put that lawnmower back together." Because he didn't know how to do it. And I did. I put the lawnmower back together, and I learned my third lesson. Because at the age of 10, I wasn't as cute as I was at the age of 5. By the age of 10, even if you are cute, it doesn't work on your parents anymore. So I learned my third lesson as a kid. If cute doesn't work, you better be valuable. And you can still get out of a lot of trouble. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Yeah!